It is time once again for the weekly wrap up. These are stories that I collect throughout the week that I did not have time to do a full video on, but I want to share them here. Starting with this. I saw this today, actually. This is amazing. So this is from Mike Rothschild here, tweeting out, reposting with more redaction. Linwood doxed both Hunter Biden and Tucker Carlson's contact info as of 2014. I'll show you what this says. But he goes on to say here, lost in the crazy of doxing the son of the president and a major TV infotainer, Tucker Carlson asked Hunter Biden to write his son a college recommendation letter. That's what this is. So Tucker Carlson, who, during the election was tearing apart Hunter Biden for some reason. Again, I don't know why anyone would care about Biden's son when he wasn't part of the campaign, was, not a part of government. Who cares? But here he is back in 2014 asking Hunter Biden for a college recommendation letter for his son. So the email says here, you could read, I'll read from bottom to top because that's how this is, that's how emails work. But Tucker here says, Hunter, I can't thank you enough for writing that letter to Georgetown on Buckley's behalf. So nice of you. I know it'll help. Hope you're great and we can all get dinner soon. And then Hunter responds saying, hey buddy, I need Buckley's CV. If you have one handy, thanks. And then Tucker replies saying, of course, getting on the plane now, but I'll ask Susie to send it right away. Thanks again. It's really nice of you to do this. It's all a big club and you ain't in it. Anyone thinking that Tucker Carlson's like anti-establishment? The guy he's gonna make a ton of money from the Swanson dinner fortune. He's one of the heirs. He does not care. Tucker is a complete actor. Now, whether he actually is a nationalist as he presents himself with his content, I don't actually know, what's in Tucker's brain, but what matters is his actual impact on society. What he spreads is dangerous crap. And here he is back in 2014 showing you that, this guy has no principled center here. He's just one of the elites like anybody else. So it's just amazing to see this considering, what we know now about Tucker going after Hunter. But anyways, next story. U.S. Labor Board official orders Amazon to redo union vote at Alabama warehouse. So this is a fantastic story. Of course, I covered a lot of the run-up to that vote and the result of it. But they found, as I discussed, going up to the vote, that Amazon was engaging in obvious union-busting behavior. That was so extreme that it violated the rights of their workers. So now these workers get to do a redo on the vote, and we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out, but it's good that they get this opportunity. Also on Amazon hid nearly 20,000 COVID cases among its employees from federal regulators. Amazon identified nearly 20,000 COVID cases according to the SOC, but reported only 27 cases of respiratory conditions to OSHA. Yeah, not a great company, Amazon. Next story here. Marcus Lamb, Christian broadcaster and vaccine skeptic, dies of COVID at 64. Mr. Lamb, who co-founded the Daystar television network, repeatedly suggested on air that people pray instead of getting vaccinated. And if you go through this article, they have several videos they link to of him saying such things. And yeah, this has been happening over and over and over again. I mean, there's countless right-wing radio hosts now that have died from COVID after spreading anti-vax information on air. And here's another example of that. This is amazing. So this week I covered how Chris Cuomo was suspended by CNN for helping his brother a lot more behind the scenes than they had realized. And you have the media here, certain members of the media, defending Chris Cuomo, as opposed to seeing it as an obvious conflict of interest when you are a powerful journalist on air, helping your brother behind the scenes by using your journalist connections to do so, helping a sitting lawmaker, a prominent lawmaker. Obviously, he shouldn't have been doing that, but here they're defending Chris Cuomo. Now, before I even get to these defenses, if you think, and I understand this way of thinking, that, hey, well, it's his brother, of course he's going to help him. First of all, they were serious allegations, so, that shouldn't be a given. If your brother is doing something horrible, no, you shouldn't expect him to be defended by his family. But still, even if you think that's the correct way of thinking, of course he's going to defend his brother. Well, fine. Don't be a host on CNN. Like, you don't need that job. If you're going to put your brother over journalistic integrity, then leave your job. It's that simple. But let's check out some of these defenses here. So Lauren Bissett says there's a very literal bros before hoes thing happening in media right now, and right now that I guess I should have expected. So Clyde Haberman here saying I confess to some ambivalence about Chris Cuomo's suspension. It's deserved on many levels, but wouldn't you help your brother if he fell into trouble, even of his own making? Matthew Glaes is here, who, by the way, has blocked me on Twitter. I think I liked a tweet that was critical of him, because I don't have any interaction with Matty Glaes. But because I liked a criticism of him, then he blocked me. But whatever. He says here, if my brother ever gets embroiled in a scandal, I'm going to do some unethical shit to help him out. Look, I don't even know what else to say there. Like, whatever. This speaks for itself. What can I add to this? There's more here. Chris Eliza from CNN saying, for those asking, Chris Cuomo is my friend. I would never walk away from a friend, in good times or bad. I support the CNN decision, and I will also be there if Chris needs me. That's what friends do. So Chris Eliza just both siding this here, trying to appease everybody. Like, okay. Last one here. Liz Smith saying the job of brother, sister, mother, father, daughter, son always comes first. Okay, again, if you think this way, apparently the tweet was deleted. But if you think this way, fine, leave your job. Like, you can't pretend to be a voice for the public. Now, to be fair, yes, we understand. Cuomo isn't the only problem here when it comes to CNN, when it comes to all these mainstream outlets. They are often, as I discussed in my video on Chris Cuomo, putting out the perspective, a pro-business, pro-corporation, pro-billionaire perspective without disclosing that, without disclosing the fact that almost all of their guests are, well-connected individuals who are super wealthy, giving this very particular point of view to the world. Yes, that ultimately is the major problem with these mainstream outlets. But that said, this is also a problem that should not be ignored. And if you're going to put your brother, the governor, over being a journalist, then quit your job. That easy. Last thing here, bit of a fun story from Rolling Stone. An Oasis cover band played a gig Friday night. 3 days later, they finally left the building. So the band called Oasis, alongside over 50 patrons and staff, were stranded at a remote pub in Yorkshire, England, after heavy snowfall. And look at this beautiful place, man. So apparently this is one of the I don't know how to phrase this, but the pub that is at the highest point in all of England. So they had this massive snowstorm, and they were stuck there for 3 days. Now, I share this because I just think it's an interesting conversation that, I wouldn't mind if this happened to me. It's an experience that you're never going to have again. It sounds like a fun time. You're at a bar with 50 people for 3 days. Sure, why not? It looks like they have some rooms there for people to sleep in. So, you know what? Chill there for 3 days, hanging out with a bunch of people, hanging out with an Oasis cover band. I like Oasis. I got no issue there. So this sounds like fun to me. But I just thought that was a fun story to end on. So there you go. That has been the weekly wrap-up.